Oh, all right. Well, let's do it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another reselling show. Wednesday night live, 10 p.m. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, we will start getting some people in here.
Five, 10.
What
Sorry.
the? Oh,
See that? That's why I said to give me. Wait, I'm not ready.
I'm a sorry, sir. I'm a sorry. So, hey, we're back, my buddy. How you doing today, Big O?
Doing good. We're doing good. I know this is an interesting topic that we selected for tonight. We talked a little bit about it, but I guess that pricing topic is something that you could really go in deep on it.
We did, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Going a little deeper, but a little deeper as far as not, when we talked last time, we talked about like pricing strategies kind of in the now, like today, right? I'm brand new, I'm listing. I want to expand that. I want to continue to talk about that, but I want to expand it of saying, okay, hey, what do you do 30 days from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, if you have stuff still, sitting in your, sitting in your store and everything. Hello, Laura. How are you? Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's one of the things where, I think it's easy for new sellers to, think about listing. I got to get stuff listed. And I think it's easy to forget about your inventory that you have listed, and forget that, yes, I know that there are guys out there and girls out there who use the, hey, I list it and then I forget it. I don't really care type of thing. And I guess, for certain products that works great. But I think for other products, you do have to look at it. Now, but I think from a standpoint of is there's products that, you price it in a way that that the price is a fair and it's a good price, right? But I think there are other times when you look at stuff and you go, you know what, man, a bunch of these people are too low. I'm going to go a little higher. And I'm going to wait because when they sell out, I'll be, the next in line to go ahead and get it. But if you're not paying attention to that, it's easy for other people to all of a sudden come on now, and look at that and whether it's Amazon or eBay, but look at what's selling, so on and so forth, and you're not paying attention because if you're not re-looking at your pricing and looking to possibly adjust, they come in and they go where the stuff was sold earlier, and next thing you know, you're sitting there and your stuff is still sitting there. And it's like, hey, how come my stuff's not selling? I'm looking, wow, I checked the solds and all stuff is selling. Why is mine not? And yours isn't because you're not going ahead, and updating it. But before we get going, we got Laura. Hello. Pittsburgh. Anthony, thanks for coming by. Talbert's mom. Thank you. Appreciate you going ahead and coming in tonight. So and now the funny thing is this. I look at my pricing, but I don't look at it as much as I should have from a standpoint of is I do forget about, my stuff. I do. I mean, I do. There's no easy way around it.
I mean, I gotta be honest too. At times, I do forget to check on my stuff, and I do check to look at what the item is selling for. And now, like around Christmas time, a lot of times you can see that the item might be selling for like $40, but during the rest of the year, it could be selling like 30. Some people might have left it at $40, and it's something that happens to me. You leave an item like at $40 when it's selling around that time, but you're not exactly the lowest one. There's somebody there is 35, and what you just mentioned ends up happening. Somebody comes in at $34.99 and then $34.98 and $34.97 as you're expecting it to sell. New sellers are jumping in and you're not paying attention to that, and then you end up holding on to an item for quite a long time. So what I try to do every once in a while, I haven't been doing it, I'll be completely honest, I haven't been doing it as frequently as I used to, which I would actually go in my inventory on Amazon, not on eBay. I'm specifically talking about Amazon. eBay is a completely different strategy. On Amazon, and take a look at what other sellers are listing the price. What's the buy box at? How many other sellers are on the listing? You know, I have tools as well. I check on Jungle Scout. You can see basically the historical information. You know, you check out the data. I can see how many times a day that particular item normally sells, how many times a month, you know, the average price, you know, because of some of the tools that I have. So I'll take a look at all that information normally. This month is not a normal month, but on a normal month, I will normally do that, you know, and then adjust my pricing accordingly. It's important. You're muted.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much. I will check my I mean, I will admit I will check my pricing more frequently on Amazon than I will eBay, just because when you go into like I mean I don't have a lot of tools for Amazon. I don't use, Inventory Labyrinth. I just use Seller Central, man. I mean, that's where I do all my stuff. So I'll go there and I'll go to Seller Central. I'll hit inventory. I'll hit manage inventory. And one of the great things that Amazon does has from their thing is you can scroll down and you can see where your price is compared to, are you the lowest price? And you might not know the buy box all the time if you're just looking at that, right? Sometimes you have to drill in to the product to find the buy box, but you could see whether or not you're the lowest or what the range is in between you and whatever is the lowest and stuff. And I think from that standpoint, it makes it easier because it makes it easier to do that where, you could, I mean, you could have 100 items, 150 items in Amazon, and you could, in reality, you could scroll through them pretty quick to change pricing if you have to. I mean, it's not that difficult to do. I mean, a couple of clicks here, because all you got to do is, boom, you click on the lowest price, it takes you to the product. You can see where other sellers are, and you go back. It's a lot easier. eBay a little tougher because you can search your product, but if somebody has a couple less keywords, more keyword, you might not necessarily see all that same product listed. That's one of the things, at least about Amazon, right? If you have, I changed product. If you have this and you put these guys on, in, you pretty much you're going to see now. You'll see whatever it is your listing is. If you're only selling one, if somebody, yes, you won't see the people that are doing 2 or 4 or 6, and that do, a combination of quantity, but you at least see all those people that are selling the same thing. Whereas you might not necessarily get that same thing from eBay because you're going to go in and you're going to put in keywords, and only the products that meet, and then you go from there. So there's a possibility you could miss 5 items. Or on eBay, if all you do is use the barcode, maybe it's changing now, but there are still a lot of people who don't put a barcode in if they have something that's not, it doesn't have to be new, even if it's used, but if the used in box and they have the box and everything, a lot of people don't put, the UPC in their listings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was one of those people for a very long time until I started getting a lot of new inventory and I started including it because I know that it improved the search results. I don't know the way exactly eBay's algorithm works on the searches, but does it include, reads this is the item description or this is the search terms that the person has selected to search it? If it would include, if eBay's catalog has those same exact terms included with the UPC, if it'll show up everything that has that same UPC. I don't know. I guess that's eBay's algorithm. But I was one that I didn't include the UPC for a long time, and I started doing that because I saw that it does improve the searches. It does improve. It does help.
Yep. But chat, hey, folks in the chat, what do you guys do when you're looking? I mean, do you check pricing off for then, or are you, hey, I list it and I forget it and I don't even worry about it? And again, there's no right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You might not do it because you don't have the time, and the list it and leave it, or list it and forget it. is it works for you because you want to get your stuff listed.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to get your stuff, in front of as many people's eyes, so you don't have the time to do it. And I can only imagine what it's like when people then, because there's a lot of people that cross list, and stuff like that. And I've done it a little bit with Poshmark and everything, but the truth is I can never remember. And the worst part of me was I can never, if something sold, I probably had 2 or 3 sales on Poshmark that I had to wind up canceling because the stuff sold on eBay, but I never took it off Poshmark because I forgot about it. So Talbot's mom, I don't list. Well, there you go, Talbot's mom. Perfect.
So she doesn't have to forget it.
You don't have to forget it. You just have to.
She doesn't have to forget it.
She's at the forget it stage.
She doesn't have to forget it. She doesn't have to remember it either.
Laura does not check for eBay.
Yeah, I don't really check for eBay, but what I tend to do after a certain period of time, if the item hasn't sold, I tend to run sales, right? Until the item sells. Sometimes,
right. And I think that's what a lot of people do.
That's what I do. I just really want to get rid of it. Or another thing that I've done before is I've changed it from, buying now to an auction listing, depending on, the item. It's another thing just to get it off. So it's not really pricing at that point, because I'm not pricing for a buy and now. I'm switching it to an auction, and I'll start it off at very low number, like around 50 cents or something like that, $1, whatever it is, and then my pricing is going to be whoever bids on it the highest. But for different items, I use different pricing methods. So for example, let's say we're talking about an item that's trending, right? And we could talk about cards. Let's say we have a card of someone who's it's a upcoming prospect, whether it's baseball, basketball, whatever. And I was gonna price that card. I would compare by what the comps are, right? That's just natural. Maybe go a little bit higher,
right?
But also include the condition of the card. Depending on the condition, that's how I'll price that. Now I'm not going to do that same for a video game. You know what I mean? So it depends on what it is that I'm trying to price. But I typically will be more on top of something like a trading card, right? I'll be looking at the prices because I don't know, what was it? John Moran not too long ago had a hell of a game and had a bunch of points, yeah. And let's face it, when you have consistent games like that, that player is going to be trending over other players, and you can expect maybe the value of his cards to go up. Or if there's something tragic that happens,
Yeah, I was just going to mention pop culture stuff with that type of stuff.
Yeah, so that kind of thing, has an effect on, the price or the value, right? The value that the buyers, because the buyers place the value on your item at the end of the day. It's going to be more valuable to a buyer than if something happens. Like, let's, for example, tragic can go both ways, right? It could be tragic for us. It could be tragic for the player. It's tragic for us. The player gets injured, and it's tragic for us because the price goes down because the player is not playing.
Right.
Or it could be a tragedy, that the player is.
Well, look at Kobe Bryant last year.
Right, exactly. Look what happened.
And people that, there were people that, you don't want to. You hate this. I mean, you hate to say they lost money because they didn't. They lost opportunity, but there were people who, as soon as they heard it, went to eBay and started buying up a whole bunch of stuff, and there are people who heard it that were resellers who had Kobe Bryant stuff. They jumped on eBay real fast and upped all their prices, or people all of a sudden said, oh my gosh, I have that Kobe Bryant, jersey that I was supposed to list, or a t-shirt. Well, I better get it listed. And now, they'll list it and everything, but from a pricing, standpoint, it's one of those things where it's like, again, it's the part of the business where you have to take the emotion out of the business. And when something like that happens, as a businessman, that the market is going to go up. I mean, you should raise your prices because your job as a businessman is to do what? Make money. You know what I'm saying? So
The value of what you're selling has gone up.
exactly. And the thing is when when you talk about that type of a tragedy happening, whether it be an athlete or a movie star, or somebody along, an author, an actor, an author, whatever it may be, a well-known personality. A lot of times, also that time frame is short. So you have to go ahead and do what you have to do to get that price up. And to your point about it's like when things sell and everything, those people who, see that tragedy, they up their prices, their stuff doesn't sell, and then they just leave it at that price, not paying attention and going, well, the reason why it was selling that high 3 months ago is because of the tragedy. Well, now it's left people's minds, so now the price, gets a little more, in line and stuff. So your pricing has to be, accordingly, adjusted based off of, based off of the event. Some things are that way. Other things it's not. Other things it's just, I mean, look at the potato head, right?
A perfect example. See, that's another example of the value of an item going up, even though it's for a short period of time.
And the funny thing is,
I got a potato head.
Yeah, and the funny thing is with that one, the pricing skyrocketed because I think at first people, I think either well, I don't know, either the report didn't come out right or people misunderstood what was said.
No, it was Hasbro that said what they said, and then once they got all of their inventory that was on the shelves at Walmart sold, it's like, oh wait, hold on, but it's still gonna be Mr. Potato Head, but it's gonna be the toy is called Potato Head, but then at the bottom it's gonna say Mr. Potato Head. So we're just changing it from Mr. Potato Head to Potato Head.
Right.
That's something. But see, that's you got to be checking for these things.
Yeah.
You can talk about pricing discontinued item, recalled items, things like that, because those are things that, once they're not available anymore, the price is going to go up. And it's up to the reseller to be on top of that and be alert and then know what it is that they're selling and adjust their prices accordingly. Now, that's one specific item, but then you have people that sell, household items. Let's say people that sell groceries, things like that. Those items you're gonna price competitively, right? You're gonna price competitive, in my opinion, to other people that are competing with other sellers. Like you're on Amazon, you're gonna try to price competitively, but still make sure that you're pricing where you're gonna make gains, right? That's where you need to be careful because see, we're talking about the two different animals. We're talking about eBay and we're talking about Amazon. On Amazon, that whole pricing thing, if you're not alert, that price can get to a point where whatever margin you had for profit can ultimately no longer be there because of this type of competitiveness in pricing. So I normally price everything based off of the historical data. Everything that's comp sales on eBay. Now the only exception to that is if I'm the only one that has that product.
Correct.
We'll go ahead and we'll use an example. Anybody that's seen the Gojitsu dolls, right? The little Gojitsu figures that they have at Walmart and Target, that this past year and the year before, there were, specific times where you can find the rare ones, because it was only one per display that had one rare. But if you go ahead and you look at now, the Hydra, right, from one of the first series of the Gojitsu dolls, the Hydra is priced at $189. That's a $9.99 toy. But if you want one, you can get one for about $100, but it's going to come from Russia. It's going to take you like about 3 months, or it's going to come from Panama. It's going to take you forever. These are realistic because my nephew wants the Hydra. Okay, so I did my research and I saw what price that. I'm not paying $189 for a toy that costs $9.99. I don't care how much my nephew wants it. Sorry, it's out of stock, is what we told him. But if I have that item, I'm not gonna let it go for $100.
Yeah.
Sell
No,
it for
you're right.
$49. I'm the
Yep.
only one that has that item, so I'm gonna price it at, you know, what I want to price it. At that point, you really have the upper hand,
Correct.
because at that point we're talking about it's a seller's market. I get to decide the price that that item's gonna sell. The other sellers are gonna decide the price that that item sells. And there's always gonna be one that's gonna drop the price down. So like, hey, I'll sell it to you for $49.95 plus $9.95 shipping.
Yeah. So underneath that,
Leaving money on the table.
right. Yeah. I have been fortunate to, and it was funny because it was both with music CDs. I have been fortunate twice to be the only one with new sealed in package CDs. Nobody else. I mean, nowhere. Like even I would I checked, I checked on Macari, checked on Amazon, checked on Discogs. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere. And when looking at, I was the only one who had it. And, looking at other ones that were unsealed, they weren't brand new sealed, they were used and so on and so forth. They were going for a price. And so I listed my brand new one at $100 more than the going price, and people would message me and stuff like that or make an offer and stuff, and come in and be like, hey, well, there's another one for sale, $100 less. What do you know? Well, that one is not sealed.
That one's not my item.
That one's not brand spanking new. This is brand new and everything. And I wound up selling, both of them, to people who, and people did not have,
Was it a Fabio CD by any chance?
No, I still have that damn thing.
You still haven't sold it?
Yeah. I don't think I have it priced right. But from that standpoint, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that, you have to look at. You make a great point there. Pricing is not just about the actual product. It's everything that goes around with that product. It's timing. It's where you are as far as on that listing. Like to your point, if you're the only one, you basically set the market. And if it's a product that is what is considered rare, and I mean really more rare, not like, it's hilarious to go ahead and see somebody put the word rare in a title on eBay, and you scroll down and there's like 6 others.
I've done that before.
It's like,
but that's because it said rare on the packaging, and I'm talking
right.
Gojitsu, it says rare on the packaging.
Right.
Ultra rare, Smashodon, Gojitsu, X-ray series.
But there are some where, people are doing it with sports cards now. They'll say, oh, this is a rare card. That's, there's 7 of them listed. It's not that rare. I'm not saying it's not, but I mean, don't, you're not going to get, 3 times as much as everybody else because you put the word rare in your title.
Rare, 1 of 1.
Yeah.
4 listed.
Right. eBay 1 of 1. There's 6 others listed. But I think you make a great point there. It's the product itself, what the situation is with that product. Seasonal is another big one. Let's face it. There are products that when it's in season, it typically means they're more in demand, and you can get more for it. But all of a sudden, if you're selling, I don't know. I mean, now the funny thing is with eBay, it's weird from that standpoint. It's, to me though, it's not just, it's seasonal, but there are certain things that are also seasonal around a holiday, because what we have to remember is when you figure eBay, and if you're selling worldwide, a season product can sell at all times, right? If you're selling shorts, well, okay, yes, people might not be buying shorts right now, if they live in Canada, and if they live in Maine, if they live in Alaska, but in Florida they are. In Georgia they are.
Year round.
You know what I'm saying? So like there are certain things you go, oh my gosh, no one's
Right.
going to buy this. It's like, well, no, because you're not, it's different than if you're a retail store, and if you're a retail store in Caribou, Maine, okay, in the wintertime, you're if you're Walmart, your display or listings of shorts is probably very small, right? But in Florida, I mean, they're never coming out. So I think it's different. We have to look at that different as we are pricing our products, seasonal products. Yeah, they need to be priced appropriately, but they also have to be thought of as that, from a seasonal standpoint, you may always hit somebody who can use that product. That's why people go, well, I've heard people on groups go, hey, how do you price your, do you take your jackets and lower the prices, in the summertime? And people go, no. And they're like, what do you mean? Who's going to buy jackets in summer? Well, people that still live in cold climates. It's not summer all the time. Just because you live, it's summer where you live, but it's not summer where everybody lives. So there's seasonal products that way. But I think, there's things that come out in a season, different fragrances of, like around, pumpkin spice, right?
And spice.
You know what I'm saying? Or, around Christmas times, right? You get pine, you get peppermint and you get pine, you get pine scent and all this other kind of stuff. And those seasonal, to me, that's a seasonal item.
Mm-hmm.
Because it comes out, but it's a seasonal because it's only released at a specific time. So once you see that, the value of that right now, if you have pumpkin spice and it's right after Thanksgiving, all that kind of stuff, you still got to be in line more with everybody else. But all of a sudden now you get to May and June when a lot of people don't have their pumpkin spice stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. You go ahead and the price should go up. Mm-hmm. Because there's not as much demand out there. Pricing is demand also, the demand of the product, how many there are, who has it, how many are being sold, but a lot of people, they just think, pricing is, well, I'm going to price it at this and this is what's going to be, and I will get my price and I don't care. And for a lot of people that does seem to work. I don't know how, but it does seem to go ahead and work,
Look at the Christmas lights, for example. You know what I mean? People that after Christmas, you can see all the clearance sections, and this is not just Christmas. This is any holiday. You see all the clearance sections of, you got Easter baskets and plush rabbits after Easter on clearance, and the same thing for Christmas. When in Christmas you're gonna price those items higher, right? Let's say you bought them on clearance after last Christmas. Next Christmas you're gonna price them a little bit higher, but a lot of these things sell year round,
right?
Chocolate sells year round. Okay, Christmas lights sell year round. Those types of things, they sell all year round. So I mean, you can price those and you can just leave them there, but then as you start getting closer to Christmas, you can put that price up. Like, let's say you were selling Christmas lights year round around $9.99, 100 light LED white corded Christmas lights, just for example. You got one of those, and you got those for like 75 cents on clearance at Walmart after Christmas. You hang on to those for a couple months, and then you list them like around now, say middle of April.
Mm-hmm.
You list them at $9.99. But a lot of people do use those Christmas lights also for Halloween. So once you start getting towards the end of summer, that the whole summer has passed, just bring that up to $14.99. See how that works. If not, $11.99. See how that works. You know what I mean? And then after you pass through the holidays, you can so you can kind of play around with the price and see what works on a lot of items.
You can. You most definitely can. And I think again, I think, you have to look at the pricing and look at what you're into the product for. Very good point there, right? Because at 75 cents, if you're charging shipping and stuff, I mean, if they're not moving as fast, you could come down to $7.99, mm-hmm. right? And you'll go ahead and blow through some, right? You have that thing to look at also. A lot of times, people, I think there's a difference in, when you price stuff you always have to take what you bought, what you paid for it, because the truth of the matter is you make your money when you buy something, not when you sell something. Because if you're not buying it right, then selling it makes it more difficult. The selling becomes harder if you don't buy it at a good price, and now all of a sudden you have to be on the higher end just to go ahead and make any kind of decent money. Then that's not good and everything. But when you're buying stuff, I mean, when you're buying stuff, like you said, 75 cents, $1, you're getting stuff on clearance and so on and so forth, you have a little more wiggle room, because at some point in time, you do want to get rid of the inventory. And it's nice when you can do something on clearance, not be into it for a lot of money, and still get out and get a good ROI. Which, speaking of pricing, and it was another thing that I wanted to go ahead and get into that I didn't tell you about, unfortunately, is ROI. So, are you an ROI guy or are you a dollar figure guy? Do you have to make a certain ROI, or do you have to make a certain amount of a certain dollar figure?
That would depend on the product. And I'll explain. I mean, so certain products that are limited editions and things that are hot trending in pop culture, as we were talking about, I'm looking to get a significant ROI, right? But then on other items like replenishables and things of that nature, I'm looking anywhere for 30-40% minimum return on the item. If not, I don't want to deal with it. And I leave that number because there still has to be a margin for the fluctuation in pricing, go up, go down. So in that ballpark area would be my minimum. If I'm not making 40% on an item, I'll probably pass on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm also conscious that it could be 40% during this period of time, right? It could be 30-40% during the months of April, May, and June. But then when we're talking about October, November, and December, it could be 80%.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I'm talking about heaters, right? I'm talking about heaters in the summer, nobody wants a heater. I mean, depending where you live. But then in the winter, those heaters are more expensive. So it depends. I'll get into an item and not even list it during some months, right? And then just wait for the perfect moment. But those are specific items. So I can say I go a lot by the ROI, and it has to be a minimum ROI of maybe 30-40% on my investment.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's the platform that also kind of sort of dictates what it is for me. And I know and I know people might be going, well, what does that matter? Well, from my standpoint, for instance, if you're doing Amazon FBA and you're not a, monster seller like I am on Amazon FBA, I can't have my product sitting there for a year on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at some point in time, it's like I got to get rid of this stuff. So, Mount, I may have paid $5 for it, and now I have to make, $1.50, $2 profit, which, is still okay. That's okay. That's fine. I'll do what I got to do. Right. Or, hey, I got to make $1 profit because that's what the going price is right now. And it's been sitting in there, for a year. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to pay, storage fees, right? So now it's going ahead and it's not, making me any money. It's costing me more money. So I'd rather get rid of it and take, 20% ROI, for something like that. Hey, Alex, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming, sir.
That is the longest name.
It is. That man, the flipper, formerly known as the Fat Man. You need a symbol.
He's got to put that man the flipper, formerly known as Fat Man the Flipper.
That's true.
Take up the whole screen. One comment fills up the whole chat.
Yeah, he couldn't fit the flipper after Fat Man, I guess.
But yeah, I mean,
so from that standpoint, but I don't know. There are some products that I look at where if I got them for, like if I get them for really cheap because they were on clearance and stuff, I mean, I don't have a problem if I get something for $1. I don't have a problem selling it for $7.99, plus shipping, and it's a first class item, and going ahead, and after fees and everything, still making, $4, $5 profit. I know people go, oh my gosh, I won't, if I'm not making at least 10 or 15 or $20 profit, I don't bother with it. And if you could do that, that's great. I have to have my pricing is my pricing because that's the product that I could find.
Yeah.
If I would price my products to make $20 on every single one, if I could find enough product that went ahead and can be listed for that price, or even a quantity of it, right? It's different if you can go ahead and you can find, 15, 20 of something that you could make, $20 on. You make one listing and you're good to go. To me, I don't find that all the time. I'll find it every now and again, but it's not, it's not a consistent thing for me. Hello, Pete. How you doing, Mr. Mancuso? Paisan, how are you? Thanks for showing up.
So I mean, I'm not an FBA. Thing that I do is 100% FBA. What I would, look for is the smaller products, right? Smaller products. So I came across a couple because, and maybe some people wouldn't, get into them because, as you said, they're not making $5-10, but I was okay making $3, $4 on some of these products because I was buying them so cheap.
Right.
So I did a lot of face masks, for women, they put the face mask when they go to sleep and the pickles on the eyes and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to sell face masks, and I was making $7.99 for every set of 2 face masks, and each face mask cost me 75 cents. Amazon on that listing was charging me $2.14 FBA, so it's like a no-brainer, you know what I mean? Some people,
yeah. No, but I think you're right from that.
But what if that? Was I breaking up because the screen went black?
You broke up. What's the last thing you said?
I did. All right. The last. You hear me?
I got you now.
Okay. All right. No, maybe that's not a lot of money for a lot of people, but if you're moving massive quantities of face masks, pickles and stuff,
yeah,
it's money. Don't count it as you sold one and made $3. But what if you sold 100 and you made $3 off each one?
Yeah, it's funny you said that discussion came up in a Facebook group I was looking at, and somebody said, that the big question, what do you do? Are you an R? And that's why I thought about it. Are you an ROI person? Are you a minimum dollar amount? And there are people on both sides, and again, neither is wrong, but some other people went to go, my gosh, you kidding me? You're selling those things. You're making $6 or $7 a shot. Look at all the work you have to do on so on and so on and so on and so forth. And the person said, okay, I get it, but it's first class. It goes in a bubble mailer, and I go ahead and slap a label on it. It's not like it's something that I'm taking, a long time to pack, right? And I'm not worrying about it, right? It's not like it's a glass. Yes, if I were to buy, if I were to buy, a coffee mug, or if I was to buy, some kind of piece of glass item, something that's fragile that could break. Yeah, you want to make more money on that. You want your pricing to be in line to where, because what you're going to have to do to pack that, right? All of a sudden, I got bubble wrap. I may have peanuts. I had one box. Oh, I'm wrapping, and I'm putting in another box, and so on and so forth, and I know I have to go through a lot more. So yeah, you want to go ahead and make more money because that listing is a little tougher because you have to be more descriptive and so on and so forth. But to your point, if you have those face masks and you come across a box of 300 of them, and you buy them all, it's one listing, right? It takes you what, 3 minutes to go ahead and pack it up, making
Well,
$4. That's
in that specific case, the reason why it was $2.14 because it was FBA, but it was a double listing in that specific case. But no, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's not something that takes a lot of time, a lot of packing. You know what I mean? Throw it in a bubble mailer, put it away. In that specific case, since I was sending it in FBA, I did need to prep it. I did need to make sure I covered those barcodes, and didn't need to put it in a poly bag. Make sure that I have the barcode, my barcode on it, and then I also have the "Do not separate. This is a set" sticker on it.
right.
Because so it did take a little bit of prep, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, I sold a couple hundred on those things, and I was making $3 a piece. So I was fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's and
I had
and
to
again,
work for it, but once it was done, I didn't have to do anything. Amazon took care of everything else.
right.
Then a bunch of jokers jumped on the listing and then brought that price down to $4.99, where it was no longer profitable. But for I'd say probably a good 5 months, I was making good money. And once I couldn't find them anymore, I was buying boxes of those things off of eBay. You know what I mean? It was a 50-pack box. I was buying the 50-pack boxes, so it was something I needed to source because I couldn't find it locally. I had to go online because I was still making money on that listing. But it depends on the product. I love those products that you just throw it inside of the bag and you slap the label on and you send it out. You don't need to do any type of special packing or prepping. I've got so many different sizes of bubble mailers. It's fantastic. Sometimes I get in trouble because people, somebody throws 10-pound dumbbell on top of my box in the priority mail bin at the post office and it gets dented. Like, I have an example. Look what they did to this. I popped it out, right?
Oh my goodness.
But it was worse. I popped it out. But what did I do? You see the little tape? I meticulously took it off the tape so that it's the original tape.
Mm-hmm.
Popped it out and retaped it back so it's still sealed, unopened. Brand new. Package slightly damaged.
Yeah. I've come across that stuff too, and it's it sucks from a standpoint, but I mean, you do what you got to do to straighten it back out and get it to where you have it. I mean, the worst part is a lot of the stuff that Amazon, when they send the stuff back at you, this was a return, and you have the return go to your house and everything, and they take something that's in, they take like a box of Legos and they throw it into a bubble mailer, and the thing comes back to you and it's friggin' boxes crushed, and you're like, oh, hey, great, thanks.
And then at that point, you need to readjust your pricing.
That's right.
Because of the damage, and included in the description. But some people really don't care. They can save $5, but the box is damaged, they'll take it. I mean, the item is in perfect condition, but I didn't relist that. Now that's a gift.
It's a gift.
It turns from an item in my Amazon store into a gift.
Well, hey, that's great. That's great. But no, you're right though. I mean, you said about pricing from a standpoint of pricing it brand new, you get it back from Amazon, you put it for $5 less. And like you said, there's a lot of people. I did that. I mean, I had a bunch of stuff. I had some Walmart clearance stuff, and package had a little tear, one little thing here, one little thing there, and so I couldn't send it on Amazon, but it was before Christmas. So I threw that stuff on eBay, and if somebody else had one brand new, perfect condition, and theirs was $25.99, I was like, hey, little damage to the box, $23.99. Boom, it would sell. You know what I'm saying? So, from that standpoint, so that's the type of stuff, that you have to do. I mean, that's part of the whole pricing thing. And it's easy because it's easy to get bogged down in it. A lot of people, they'll get the analysis, but what is it, paralysis by analysis, because they'll be researching stuff of how much it should be, and I'm like, and they settle on a price. Let me do one more search. Oh my gosh, there's 5 people that are selling it for $3 less. What am I going to do now? And I think at some point in time, price it where you think it should be. One thing, I'll tell you this: when in doubt, price it higher, because it's easy to lower your price. It's not as easy to raise your price, especially when you hear the cha-ching and you go, "Oh crap! I screwed that price up. I can't believe I did that. No, it wasn't supposed to be 23. It was supposed to be 56. Oh crap!" You're not paying attention, rushing through and everything, and you boom,
Yeah, one thing when I see that, like I say, I see, oh man, there's 3 people selling it for $3 less. Check, look at their description, look at their item. What is it that they're missing? What is it that they're not offering? What is it that about that item that you can add additional value to your listing through your pricing to your item? For example, are they only shipping standard shipping, right? They're not using expedited. And let's say there's somebody that really needs that item, and the item is priced ridiculously high through Amazon. You can price similar to Amazon on eBay, but offer expedited shipping. Charge $7, $12 more, depending on the size of the item.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And offer expedited shipping. The other 3 people might be offering standard shipping or, economy shipping method. But if you use economy shipping, you price that out, or put that into, or add that cost that the shipping would cost you, offer them free expedited or charge them whatever you want, and put the cost into your price, and list the item,
Yeah, I do that all the time. I mean, on my, especially, like even on my eBay items, if I have, if I have first class, I have priority, and I also have express also. And it was funny. I had it was a CD, another music CD that I sold. It was
Fabio?
What? No, not the Fabio one. Damn it! I told you the Fabio still. Stop.
Yeah, but you had like the compilation, the greatest hits.
I know, but it was going to Wisconsin and everything, and the guy checked express shipping. So I messaged him right away and said, "Hey, did you mean to use, express shipping? I wanted to make sure and everything, because the express shipping and the CD was like $24.99. Express shipping was like $50." And he was like, so he messaged me back and he's like, "Hey, no, thanks for asking, but yes, this was on a Tuesday." He said, I'm taking my wife away for this weekend. She loves this band. This is the only CD out of the band that she does not have. And I want to give it to her this weekend because we're going away for her birthday." And he said, the only way I can guarantee that I get it is express shipping. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I'm taking. I said, you know what? I'm taking it to the post office today, also. So I'll get it there. It'll get on. And it was, but like you said though, even if there were other people, well, actually there were others listed, but none of them had that option.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at mine and saw and said, "Hey, wow, it's Tuesday. I could order this and have it before the weekend. My listing was the only one. And that's why I got it." So pricing is that whole, you have to take the shipping stuff into consideration and offer that stuff also.
Yeah, because that's part of what the price is, what it costs the consumer, what it costs the end user, the price of the product plus the shipping when it comes to online. So definitely include multiple options. I mean, I went from believing that no, people are only gonna buy if it's free shipping, to almost like I think everything in my eBay store is some charging shipping.
Yeah, and I have to, I have to go back. And to me, I think you adjust your price accordingly, Okay, if the going rate, if everybody, and people are like, well, if people list with free shipping, I go ahead and I list free shipping, also, so that this way, I'll be in line with the pricing. Well, if people are selling something for $49.99 free shipping, and it's going to be, let's say it's it's a first class item. Okay, so price yours at $44.99 plus shipping. You're still going to be right in that range. You might even be a little cheaper and show up first on the listing. And because I know people go, well, people only like to go ahead and search, for free shipping and everything. And I said, well, okay, then I'll miss out on sales. I said, but there are a lot of people who go lowest price. Because what's the difference? What I'm paying, as long as it's the lowest price, that's what I want. That's what I want. I'm not going to pay $19.99 free shipping if I could pay $14.99 plus shipping, and shipping costs me $4, and I'm in, for $18, and rather than $19.
Yeah, that's true.
It
all depends on how the buyer. There's both sides of that. There's the free shipping people, and there's the lowest price plus shipping people. So there's people that even search by nearest to me. Put it like that. I don't care what it costs. I know that whatever's nearest to me is gonna. I know because I am one of those. Whatever's nearest to me is gonna arrive to me the soonest. So at times, to say I'm looking for something that I want to buy on eBay, I'll check nearest to me. So I'm no longer looking by price. I'm not looking by what's going to get to me the fastest. And then even sometimes the ones that are even farther away from me can arrive even sooner than the ones that are nearest to me. So, you got a little bit of everything in there. But typically I try to look for, what gets to me the quickest.
Well, TTFFKAF says that he does, free shipping.
Well, who is that?
TTFFKAF. That
FT,
formerly known as
TTFF. No, TTFFKAF.
Right.
TF.
TF. You need a TF in there. And he makes a point. And I still use that method right now, but I'm starting to go ahead and get away from it and charge shipping. I know there's a lot of people, oh, are you kidding me? I will never do that. I don't want to go ahead and do that type of thing, so on and so forth. And you got to be careful and so on and so forth. But, it's funny. There are a lot of people who, it's funny when you watch these, you'll see certain, resellers and stuff, and they all, charge shipping. A lot of them do a flat rate. If it's under 4 ounces, it's under 8 ounces, under 12, under a pound. From that standpoint, even abbreviated, it's as long as hell. Yeah. No, and you're right. When like Talbot's wrong. When I buy something, I check out which way is cheaper than I buy it. Exactly. And to me, I don't understand. I know there are a lot of people who say, I only look for free shipping and so on and so forth. And maybe like I said, to me, my first thing is the cheapest thing. I've never used the nearest to me. I may have to do that, because if you're right, if it is plus shipping, you should probably check nearest to me, because if somebody has it in North Carolina, even though it might be $1 or $2 more, if I'm going to get it in 2 days rather than somebody in Seattle, you're right. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I've never really used it before.
I look like that on certain items, not on everything. You know what I mean? Things that I can be patient for.
Yeah. But I mean, it'd be different. You like if you and I were both in the middle of the country, if we were in Nebraska, that area over there, I mean, pretty much, you're right in the middle, right? So shipping from either direction, it really doesn't make a difference that much, right? With both of us being in the Southeast, you're right. Shipping from, the East Coast is a lot better for us than waiting for something to come from the West Coast.
Yeah, Oregon or Washington, California.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind selling to those people because I charge shipping on.
I mind very much.
Why?
Because sometimes I mean, so it depends on the item, right? So let's say you're on Amazon. Do you set up your shipping by region on Amazon? Your shipping templates?
I do not. I
Oh,
just have. Well, no. Well,
you're mostly FBA. You're mostly FBA. That's
no. But my FBM stuff, I do put on more if it's Hawaii or Alaska or Puerto Rico, because you'd hate.
I don't ship to Puerto Rico on Amazon.
Because you'd hate to sell like a larger item either on eBay or Amazon and have to go to Puerto Rico and you get screwed.
I don't ship. I do 48 continental. That's
what?
it.
What's the matter? You don't like all the Americans in Alaska and Hawaii?
Of course. I love all Americans, but I ain't shipping to them. You guys are going to have to buy from the Thrifting Goomba. I mean, that's just me on Amazon. All right. Let me be clear. That's Amazon. And then on eBay, depends on the product. I'm not going to ship a product that weighs 75 pounds to Alaska or Hawaii.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's just me.
Laura.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my how I have my shipping set up.
Here you go. Wait, Laura, do you have your pen and paper?
No, it doesn't need it. It's like not super complicated at all.
Yeah.
So when you go to your shipping settings, let me go to mine.
It's super easy.
So I have one here that I made as when me and Chris Mancuso were looking at him.
Pete Mancuso?
Chris, Pete's wife.
Oh.
So because we were creating the shipping templates one time on our account, but I have mine here. I got a US general template. That's just a general template that I'm charging $9.97 per item and 1 cent per order. The reason I do it that way, if they order more than one, I want them to charge $9.97 per additional item instead of that 1 cent. So the order cost me 1 cent, but the additional item costs $9.97. Okay, that's how I have my general. But then I have my free USPS, right? Which that one is just the name that I put on it. That one's anything under a pound, free. Then I have over a pound, free, which is my USPS priority mail free. That's the name of the shipping template, right? And then I know whenever I'm putting something on Amazon, obviously I know what it weighs. I know the size, the dimensions just by knowing what I'm looking at. So I select these according to the item. But then I also have a simple method. The simple method is it's very, very simple. $5 for standard. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I selected the wrong one. Simple shipping method. So it's $2.99 per order, $2.99 per item, and then $5.99 per order, $5.99 per item on the second one, and the third one is $9.99 per order, $9.99 per item. So basically, I know if I'm going to charge $6, $12, or $20 shipping with that template. So that's how I have my templates organized, and it's super simple. Just create one for anything that weighs under a pound, anything that you're going to ship priority, and then anything that's heavier than that, but not more than 10 pounds, for example, or 5 pounds, that you'll charge maximum $20.
But like eBay, on your free first class, do you have an expedited option for people?
This is Amazon.
You could still do that,
No, but I'm on Amazon.
I know, but what I'm saying though is on Amazon, if you could offer free.
Yeah.
You could add expedited to that and charge them for expedited also.
Yeah. So, for example,
what I did was when I was selling some of the dumbbells on Amazon, I did my expedited shipping by the pound.
Yeah, no, you can definitely do that, and it works, especially if you're shipping on those to Hawaii or Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. And at that time, there was people on the listing that they were doing their Prime Continental or they were doing their Merchant Fulfilled 48 Continental. I'm the only asshole that was, excuse me, that was shipping to Hawaii and Alaska, but I was getting paid for it. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with it. But I have like the one that I told you, the US General template. The standard is the 1 cent plus 9.97, total of 9.98, and then the expedited option is 1 cent and then 19.98 per item. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So on that one, I have it set up like that. Now, if there's anything heavier than that, you know, like,
A large item.
right? He knows. Um, I'm gonna create a specific template for that item.
Right.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's not very hard to do. I mean, to set those up and everything, but but it is critical to your pricing and everything because you have those times when if you're not paying attention to stuff and you don't do it, and next thing you're trying to ship something somewhere that you shouldn't, and you get hosed and everything for whatever reason it might be, and it's just and it winds up costing a lot of money. Shipping in your pricing of your items, shipping needs to be a consideration because it's the one area where a small mistake can cost a lot of money.
Yeah, and on eBay too. I mean,
Yeah, you weigh something and you think it's that you look at it real fast, and you think, oh, that's 14 ounces, and you can feel it and you go, and it doesn't feel like 14 ounces. Well, it really wasn't 14 ounces, it was, a pound 4 ounces, and you went ahead and read it wrong and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And and you don't pay attention and you put 14 ounces and all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, your customer doesn't care. Your customer paid, $3.57 or $5.27 to ship something. But now you got to go ahead and spend, a lot more money to try and ship it.
so look, I had to weigh it because I didn't know what it was, but my wallet weighs about 7 ounces, right? So I can go like this with my wallet and pull it out. I mean, like, all right, hold on, and kind of get an idea.
Yeah.
But when I'm here, obviously, I'm gonna have my scale.
Yep.
But sometimes you can't really go by that weight because what if you've been doing curls all day? You know what I mean? And you've been working out. You see, like that guy, curls all day. Pick out the weighs like 5 pounds, and like, oh, this is about 10 ounces.
Yeah. So hey, we've been going for an hour. We let's go ahead and wrap this up first. Hey, to everybody that came out, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys spending time with us. As we start to go forward, we've talked a lot about the with the reselling business and everything, and we did talk about sourcing product and some different things and everything. And one of the things that Oscar and I had, thrown back and forth a little bit, was bringing on some people who like kind of specialize in an area of sourcing to then hopefully, give ideas and help out because, to expand, your sourcing opportunities. So we were talking about, whether it be people, garage sale people or yard sale people, storage units, wholesale, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, all that kind of stuff. So if any of you would, if you do that type of stuff, please let us know. We'd love to have you come on. We're also looking at the potential of, like getting into some, niche stuff. Is there people that specialize in certain areas to go ahead and, and be able to, open up different things for people that they may never have thought about before.
Yeah, like as if people that source like police evidence lockers and like stuff like that, like
I was thinking maybe like
auctions and things like that.
Yeah. But I was thinking maybe like golf clubs or maybe like glassware too.
I think police evidence lockers is more interesting of a
It
topic.
definitely is. You could probably find some amazing stuff to talk about. An hour may not be long enough.
Yeah, I don't know about the golf clubs, but we could definitely do police evidence lockers if you guys want to get on here and talk about what you guys have sourced through auctions, police auctions, and stuff like that. But
So that's where hopefully that's where we're looking to go as we continue, to bring, because again, as you're reselling and everything, it's to one of the things people need to do. I mean, there are niche people, and it works great and everything. But if you're not that type of person, we want to bring some different, different thing, categories, different avenues to source to you guys. So this way, it can hopefully, make you, more successful in your reselling business. So with that, Oscar, hey man, what do you got going on, man?
this weekend, Saturday night, 9 p.m. on TTFFKAFTFTFTTKK's YouTube channel, 9 p.m. Guys, just check it out. The Bad Boys of Reselling at 9 p.m. That's on That Man the Flippers channel. It's a little bit different. We're talking about reselling a little bit, but not so much anymore. A little bit more of what it really takes, to be or find some type of peace and success and motivation, inspiration, all that good stuff, in your daily lives. So we kind of like talk about not the normal things, normal topics that you would expect on a reselling show. We kind of get into the more, spiritual, mental aspect of it. So check it out, 9 p.m. That's on TTFTTTFTTKK's YouTube channel, 9 p.m.
And sometimes why? Hello there, Bandit. Yeah, so for me, I tell you, dude, I got a busy time coming up. So as you know, like I said, my son and I have another channel in the description, Huddle Card Collection. We've been releasing videos every other day. Next week on Tuesday night, we're going to be on Redbeard Breaks channel, where he's going to interview us, which is cool. Busy week next week. My son's birthday is Wednesday. He turns 21. And then my daughter on Friday gets her PharmD doctorate. We're going to be in Birmingham, Alabama. She walks across and becomes Dr. Gentili. So exciting stuff and everything. And she just found out that she got her application was approved for the apartment complex that she wants to be in. She's going to be doing her, she wants to be a clinical pharmacist, meaning she wants to be in a hospital. So she's going to be doing her residency at the University of Tennessee Medical Center in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow. That's nice. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
To her, not to you.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Congratulations to you too, man. Just messing with you.
Well, all I know is this: we got one off the payroll.
There you go. Let's see if your investment
is right.
Let's see if you get the return on your investment, your ROI.
That's it. That ROI hopefully gets paid off. That's a long-term investment. That's not short-term. That's the one. So again, appreciate everybody. Hey man, that's 30 minutes away from me. Are you going to be visiting, bro? Yes, Alex, we are. Well, actually, we already know her move-in date and everything. And yes, I planned on getting in contact with you about that, because where she's going to be, basically, she's going to be on the west side of Knoxville, which is not that bad. Formerly tax deduction number. Yeah. Tell me about it, Bandit. You got that right. So it is what it is, but I got a busy 6 weeks coming up. Because my other daughter will get her master's degree, and then she's moving from Virginia to South Carolina. So I got two move. No, I'm not staying out of your Walmarts, and they're not yours anymore, bro. I'm going to be in town. They are the TTG's Walmarts.
Yo, you got to be careful with this guy. Did you see how many masters and doctors he just talked about? This guy just breeds success. All right.
So, hey, again, everybody, thank you so much. Again, keep in mind, we're looking for people. Hit us up. You can get in touch with me and get in touch with Oscar. We got all our information. Appreciate every single one of you coming out. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Show up on Saturday night. Support the bad boys. And have a great rest of your week. And keep on selling. Talk to you guys later. Peace.